Last we left off, Jalen had been tricked by a crazy mad alien disguised as a child laying on the ground. What happens next? Once there was an important story about some aliens who came down from space. They came and wiped out the human nation, and they disappeared without a trace. Jalen had his throat clamped by an alien. He screamed and trying to get loose. He tried calling for help, but the boys just ran and ditched him. Jalen knew the thing wasn't human, but knew it was an alien when it started probing his body. Owen and Tyler told the rest of the boys, "We have to help Jalen." Angel said, "No way." Tyler shouted, "Traitor," as Angel and Carter ran off with the rest of the boys. Owen and Tyler ran around a fence to see what was going on. The aliens were probing Jalen. Jalen was screaming. Owen said, "We gotta grab something to knock the aliens out." Suddenly, a giant van drove into the parking lot. A few guys with guns stuck their head out of the sunroof and began firing machine guns at aliens. Owen and Tyler dived in some bushes. "No, Jalen!" yelled Tyler. But the alien disappeared with Jalen in his hands, just popping out of existence. Owen and Tyler ran to the van. Owen said, "What? That's my friend. Why would you shoot?" Crazy Guy said, "They're coming. The commies want free healthcare, and now they're sending aliens. We're the California National Militia. I'm Fred. That's my neighbor Bill. That's Ted." "Howdy," said Ted. Owen said, "The commies did this?" "You better believe it," said Ted. "Now help us out. It's 6 o'clock. I want these aliens dead by the end of the night. Tomorrow's Memorial Day. I have plans with my wife, Mary Ann." "There's more than one?" exclaimed Tyler. "Yeah," said Ted. "They're all over the country. It's on the news channels now." Owen said, "We'll come along." Tyler was skeptical, but they jumped in the van anyway and fired it up and left the parking lot. Tyler said, "How are we going to find them anyway?" Ted said, "Bill, turn on the radio." The news was on. The newsman said, "There have been numerous alien sightings in the south of Eureka, California. People are calling in saying they're at the Comfort Inn." Bill said, "That's just down the street." The van drove down to the Comfort Inn. While a number of people were gathered outside the inn, which looked like a lot of people in the crowd had been staying there, a reporter frantically tried to get people's opinions who were walking around. An old lady said, "They're in there! They're in there!" The police were now there. Owen and Tyler said, "They might have Jalen." They ran to the hotel, but the police stopped them. The police said, "It's not safe in there." Bill jumped out of the van with the machine gun. Bill said, "It's okay, they're with me." The police officer said, "Do you realize that on this property you're not allowed to carry a—" "You know what, I don't get paid enough. Come on, guys, let's get out of here." The police gave up and left. Ted shouted, "People, leave the premises. We have work to do." An old lady said, "I went on vacation, and there I left my—" Bill pointed the machine gun at the old lady. "Do I look like I care?" he said. The old lady walked off. Suddenly, an alien peeked out of the second-story window. Bill pointed and fired some rounds, breaking the window. The people fled. Tyler said, "These guys are idiots, Owen." Bill and Ted ran in the hotel with guns on their shoulders. Owen said, "Let's wait out here." Fred stood watch by the van. Suddenly, an alien dropped a TV on the ground. Fred fired some rounds, breaking another window. Fred said, "You're a dead man," to the alien. He began climbing the building on a ladder conveniently placed on the wall. He went to the side of the window. Fred took his walkie-talkie and reported to Bill, saying, "They're in there, Bill. I hear them making weird noises and throwing things." Owen and Tyler yelled, "Is Jalen in there?" Fred looked in the window real quick and said, "No, he isn't." Meanwhile, Brody was being taken into the forest by aliens, and he was being held hostage in a cave. If you don't know why, listen to the other story, the first story. The aliens' language Brody couldn't understand, but they were talking about using him to learn more about the human race and tell them everything about the human body. And if not, they'd kill him. And if he did tell them, they'd eventually kill him too. Brody had alien sticky tape all over his mouth. Yeah, I guess that's a thing. The aliens took it off. The alien telepathically told Brody to teach him about the human race, or they'd kill him, and that the leader was waiting back in town. Aliens could understand English. Brody said, "I'll teach you about the human race. I'd like to teach it to your leader as well. Take me there." Brody said this so he could be taken back to the town where people could help him instead of being trapped in the middle of the woods. The aliens teleported with him to the Comfort Inn where their leader was currently. They teleported in the parking lot. Owen and Tyler turned. Tyler said, "Brody, where have you been? What have they done to you?" The alien clamped him harder. Brody began screaming for help, but his throat was clamped. Fred saw from the window and grabbed his gun. Owen and Tyler yelled, "Don't shoot!" Fred put his gun down. Owen said, "He's going to teleport any minute. That's what aliens do. What do we do?" Owen said, "You know what? Shoot! But don't hit Brody." The alien heard immediately and threw Brody in front of him, who collapsed just as a shot was fired. The alien tripped over Brody while falling, and the gun shot the alien down. The aliens began bleeding green blood that dripped all over the parking lot. Fred, Tyler, Owen, and Brody were in shock. An alien body was on the ground in front of them. Strange. Things were silent. Suddenly, an alarm went off. The sky turned purple. Owen, Tyler, and Fred stood in shock. Aliens began teleporting all around them. An alert call came that one of their men had died. That's how aliens work. They have a whole system of communication, and they know when one of their own died. And all I can tell you in this is that the war was on. Brody got up. The boys were surrounded. Meanwhile, in the distance, Owen, Tyler, and Brody heard a slight scream that sounded like Jalen. Find out what happens next time on The Story of the Aliens. La 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 la. It's a game that the boys always play. Ronde, game that the boys play every day. Ronde, eeny, miny, mo. It's Brody who's it, Brody who's it, Brody who's it. He says he's a target and he always throws a fit. Ronde, and it's called British. Oh yes, it's called British. Oh, it's called British. You don't like that one? Oh, come on.